Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a drain and flush on E350. So this is actually a van that I did a drain and flush before, and I'm going to be doing the same thing on the white van that's right over there. But the difference is that I want to make sure I show what valves I used. I've used a couple different valves, but these are the valves that have been pretty good for me. They're just easier to use. And I'm going to show a couple of fittings that I'm going to use, and then I'll point you where the location of the valves, where they're going to go. So I'm going to be using a EZ oil drain valve. Okay, so this is part number EZ-108. So they come in different, they can be packaged in different ways. This is a couple of samples of them, and this is and this fitting right here, this is an L-type fitting, and it gives it an angle, so when you connect your hose, you'll be able to drain your coolant a lot easier. So I recommend these valves whenever you're doing a drain and flush on any of these on the 6.0 diesels. If you don't use the valves, you won't be able to. It'll just be very difficult because you'll have to be going in and out at the bottom of the truck. It makes the process a little more complicated. If you look in there, this is one that's been installed. So right over there, you can kind of see it right there. Okay. So that's the valve, and that valve, that particular one doesn't have the L fitting. In that area, you do want to have that L fitting. If you don't use the L fitting, it's going to be a mission, because that pipe, because that exhaust manifold gets really hot, and when you're flushing it, you're going to be going in and out. You're going to be sticking your hand in there, so it becomes kind of complicated. So you want this, and that's the part number. Okay. Do not use any other valves. If you use the other ones, you're gonna have issues. I've been there. It's just not worth it. The benefit of these valves is that you see that little rubber piece right there. It might sound ridiculous, but the thing is that valve, that when the motor gets hot, this valve gets hot. So that little rubber, when you stick your finger in there to move it, if you don't have that rubber on it, it's gonna be super hot. It's gonna be very difficult to open it up. So the other valves do not have that. Yeah, I'm sure you can make it, but don't waste your time. Get these valves. As a matter of fact, I think they're actually the same price. Okay, EZ-108. And if you don't get it like that, it's gonna look like this. Okay. Same valve, EZ-108. This one in particular has a straight fitting. The reason why I have a straight fitting on that one is because for the other side of the block, you don't need that L, and I'll show you how that looks. Okay. So here you can see the hose that's already plugged into it, but you see how using that straight valve, it gives you access to the block and to installing a hose a lot easier. And that's the reason why on this side of the block you want that straight fitting. On the opposite, you want the L fitting. And keep in mind the L fitting is a little bit tricky to get in there, so you may have to remove the starter. I can't remember if I removed the starter on this one. I probably did, but that's how it looks. Okay. Hi, Eva. So I've done a few of these before, and one of the challenges with the whole process is going to be just cracking those valves open. So this is the van that we're going to be doing the drain and flush. Now, to get this whole thing started, what you're going to do, you're going to want some water bottles. Okay. And you're going to need a funnel. The reason why you need a funnel is because when you first crack the lines open, you're going to have a lot of fluid that's going to be leaking out. So you want to catch it. You don't want the fluid going into the drain. Okay. So just any simple funnel works. That's what I got. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open the radiator valve and just let the radiator drain. The radiator is pretty straightforward. Right back here, there's a valve. You can kind of see it right there. See that? You see that? The hole right there, the valve's right here. So that's the petcock valve. You want to drain the radiator first. Once you drain the radiator and fill up your buckets, you're gonna get, you'll be able to get some of that water out. It'll make the process a little bit smoother. Okay, once you get that, so once you knock out the radiator, then you're gonna move into doing the engine block. Okay, so now we have everything we need to get this started. Okay, it kind of looks like a bad science experiment, but it's gonna be pretty straightforward. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is like I mentioned, we're gonna crack open the radiator, the petcock valve, and let the water drain. Okay, let's take a look and see where that's at. Okay, so there's a valve right there. Okay, to make this easier, we can use a funnel, but let's just connect the hose real quick. This will make it a little bit smoother, a little bit easier. It'll kind of help us avoid losing too much water. Okay, so you okay, so as you can see, there it goes. So as you can see, there's really not much water coming out. So there's not a lot of water coming out or coolant coming out, and the reason why is because everything's still kind of under pressure. And so in order to get that fluid coming, what we do is we open the degas bottle, and I'll show you how that looks. Now to crack open the degas bottle is pretty straightforward. Just pop open your hood. So you pop open your hood, and then there's your degas bottle. Just open it up. Once you open it up, the fluid should start coming right out. There you go. Just release the pressure. Okay, so when you're doing this, one thing I can tell you is that more likely you're going to get wet. So expect to get a little bit wet. And what you'll notice is that obviously it has the wrong coolant. So whoever put the coolant in there originally, they used the wrong stuff. So this is not, and if it is the right stuff, it looks bad, but it's not. It's the wrong stuff. They probably mixed a couple different coolants in there, and that's the reason why it has that green, that strange green color. But what you should be seeing is you should see the gold. That's that's the kind of coolant that we're supposed to be using, the gold. So this is the valve. This is how it looks when it's open, and when it closes, that's it, closed. Open. And that's the straight fitting for it. Danny! Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the passenger side one in. It's a little bit tricky, so I'm gonna have to turn off the camera when I do this.